What's up, Dokkan Gamers? Today we're going to be discussing the best teams that you can possibly bring to the Dokkan Ultimate Clash. And what we're hoping to accomplish here is we're going to accomplish two things. One, we're going to get you away from those mono leads. Two, we're going to make sure that you can beat this very, very quickly in all the different clashes that come up throughout the year. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at my teams and my builds. So moving over to early teams, right? How I look at early teams are, these are kind of your throwaway teams, right? You can use free to play Ginyu Force. You can use free to play Bardock team. I basically have a very early, free to play Super Saiyan Saga or Saiyan Saga team. On the left here, these are your different leaders that you can substitute in for Yamcha if you don't have him. So I'm always going to put the leaders on the left side, and I'm going to put the subs on the right side. Because these are all free to play units, I didn't feel like I had to put any subs because why should I, right? So that being said, this team should get you through, stage 1, stage 2, something of that nature. Second team that we're going to denote here is Future Saga, right? And again, this is all just a blueprint and an outline for you to build based upon what your box has in terms of characters, right? So you don't have to copy these teams exactly, but I will say that I have had zero problems moving forward with any of these events with these teams. I've also recently revamped all the teams to a point where we've included all the new EZAs and all the new characters. So I will be time stamping everything and making sure that we can go from Saiyan Saga to Future Saga, etc. So Future Saga, this is another one of my early teams. It can probably go into a mid-game, stage 2, maybe not a stage 3. Maybe you can get away with a stage 3 with them, but decently strong, powerful team. Okay, Peppy Girls. Also similar to one of the teams that I used earlier in the rotation, but they are very, very strong. And I think you can probably even get some of the stage 3 teams done with the team that I have listed here. If you don't have Grandpa Roshi and you weren't lucky enough to pull him or even tried, you can obviously use this android. You can use Y. You can use whatever her name is, Ribrianne. Here are some extra subs. She dodges very well. It's great. So that's it for Peppy Girls, unless there's any questions or comments. Planet Namek Saga, sort of same thing. Pretty strong team. A lot of good bench options. Different leaders. I recommend not putting Frieza as the lead because I will use Frieza on another one of my personal teams, but I want to provide you guys options in case you guys don't have these specific teams. So maybe you don't have the Dirty Fireworks Vegeta. So maybe you have the Super Saiyan Namek Goku. Let's put him in as leader. Completely fine. This is one of the earlier teams. No big deal. Moving on. Special pose. So this team is very interesting, and don't mind the fact that Jocko is downgraded right now. I think I picked up a copy. So look, you have a lot of flexibility with this team. There's a lot of stunners. There's a lot of dodgers. There's a lot of things. Jocko can always be in a slot 1. Very, very good for the Ultimate Clash, right? If you were lucky enough to get Topo, you could put Topo in there. You could put Ginyu. You could put the Ribrianne. God forbid you want to put the Go Tanks, have at it. You want to put Dispo, that's cool. You want to put the other guy, the other Ginyu guy, that's fine. You want to put the, losing my train of thought here, the Gammas, that's fine too, but I typically have them on another team. So that's it for special pose. That's one of the categories I use. Dragon Ball Heroes, this could be like a very, very subjective team, right? Because maybe not that many people have a good Dragon Ball Heroes team. Maybe people didn't pull for that. I, for one, don't have this unit, and I'm kind of gutted and sad. But here are your leader options. Here's kind of your bench. These are kind of the strongest performers. Not 100% sure on this Frieza. I feel like I used him once or twice before I sort of settled into the below team. And the below team is just great, right? Like Pan dodges everything. This Goku destroys. That guy destroys. The Trunks destroys. Um, pretty, pretty solid. Easily gets you through the early, first, second stages, what have you. Then we're moving on to a little bit more of the like, here's the guys that I would use for tier 3 fights just to get to that final battle, right? So a Kamehameha team with the Gohan and the trio little guys, and then the trio big boys, and then a whole bunch of little guys. Maybe you don't have Daima Goku. Maybe you throw in, that blue Gohan. Maybe you're throwing in a UI Goku. Maybe you're even throwing in the freshly EZA'd gods. Maybe you're throwing this free-to-play guy in. Tons of different options here. The leaders do seem fairly restrictive. So it's something to keep in mind if you are going to go with the Kamehameha team. Like, I don't have this guy on my alt account. I have this guy on my main account. This guy's free to play. I don't know how well he performs, or not free to play, but like summonable, but not sure how well he performs. So just something to keep in mind when you're subbing out. And maybe you're not using a Kamehameha team. But again, the reason I'm showing you guys all this is just so that you know that you can beat all of these things very quickly, very effectively, without using mono teams. These category teams are a lot stronger. It makes this much easier to do 3 times instead of doing it once and being like, I don't want to do that again. Moving on from Kamehameha, we got superheroes. And again, I can make a much stronger superheroes team. But right now I'm going for balance. I'm going for the widespread, right? I'm only making 1 or 2 teams very, very strong, just so that these teams can just get through anything without a problem, right? So you got your Gohan, you got your Gammas, you got your Gogeta, you got the boys, you got the androids, and you got this Pan who just naturally dodges everything for me. Like, I love her. She's amazing. You can substitute with a Piccolo. I have him on a demonic power. I also have Beast on a demonic power team. I don't recommend you doing a demonic power team unless you have both of the leaders. So you can sub in here, make this stronger. I think these are just suggestions for categories. Again, it's based upon your character box, what units you have, and what you feel your strongest teams are. So don't let me influence that. I just want to give you guys ideas. When I make teams, I'm sitting here thinking like, what can I make that's going to be really good, but not use all of my best guys? Because I want to make sure that I can clear all these things leading up to the last fight in one shot. Like, if I bring this superhero team, we're going to kill whatever that stage 3 guy is, right? Hopefully. There are some fringe cases where you randomly get hit by something and it's terrible, but want you to be aware. Moving on. So we got Majin Buu. This is my Majin Buu good team, right? So we got the Super Saiyan 3, and we're using the Go Tank. So we're bringing in the big power here. We also got, Super Saiyan 2 that transforms to 3. We got the Majin Vegeta. We got the Goku. Got a bunch of characters here that can dodge. Some of them can dodge. Some of them can die. Some of them can counter. You do have, I don't know why I put this as a double up. I guess he can be pulled out as a leader. He can be put in as a sub. You can take any of these guys, put in as a sub. This all kind of works and floats. So like, just based upon the way that you want to do this and how you set it up and operate, super easy, very effective. This is a very strong team. Then you have the Universal Survival Saga, right? Maybe you didn't pull SS Royal Blue. You still have UI Goku. Maybe you didn't pull UI Goku. You can throw the other Jiren in. Maybe you don't have Jiren. Maybe you have this guy and UI Goku. Maybe you pulled the Frieza, right? There's a lot of different options that you can do here. No big deal. So try that. You don't have to use Topo. You can put somebody else. You could even take out the 6-year anniversary units from the other team, put them in here to make it stronger. It's all really dependent. You could even go back and grab, the androids, right, who also leads the team, and bring them into the equation or mix. So a lot of different things with tournament participants, etc. So a lot of flexibility there. Moving on, we got my Majin Buu bad guys team. Again, ignore this dodgy Buu. He must have gotten an extra copy. So we got these two guys as the leader. You can sub in these two guys. I'm not really sure how good this Deborah is, but I feel like he's pretty decent. If you're really in a pickle and you want to do an evil team and you want to throw these guys in, you absolutely can. These two are insane. These two are, fair to middling. You'll probably have to hide them. You'll probably have to hide this guy too, but everybody else on this team is such a powerhouse that it really does not matter that much, to be honest with you. This is a newer team that I compiled using a lot of the 10th year anniversary. So you got the EZA Goku, the EZA Vegeta, the EZA Namek. You got this guy who's leading the team with Frieza. So this is a new Battle of Fate team, and then we threw this guy on. So just kind of really placating to the new EZAs and want to see like the strength of this. I imagine that this team is going to be really strong. So hopefully it will. And there's a ton of different options in terms of leaders that you can sub in for these guys, as well as you can literally take your pick of characters to fulfill if you don't have somebody over here. Here's where things get really interesting. So this was a conundrum that I had where I wanted to separate the uncontrollable power and the movie bosses into two different teams. By doing so, you limit the strength of both teams by, I don't want to say a substantial margin, but by a margin, right? Where, you have the Haruta guard who can not dodge and die. You have the small Janemba who, if you don't get enough orbs, you can die. But you also have, the power of Broly. You have the power of the Buhan. You have the power of the other Buhan. You have the Janembas, the big Janembas, right? Like, we should be good here. And this is like a hybrid between transformation boost and uncontrollable power. So it's really hard to like kind of mix and match these two and like provide different leaders. It would probably be a combination of just like a uncontrollable power or a movie boss team or something of that nature. So if you don't have all these guys to fan out and go wide, go narrow. Just make one. Make one really, really strong team. So that's my advice here for the movie bosses: uncontrollable power, transformation boost, and then bell of the ball. Oh, nope, not the bell of the ball yet. We have one more team, the demonic power team. So again, if you don't have Glorio and you don't have Lord Slug, you're not really doing too well for leaders. So you can definitely take these characters and redistribute them to other teams that make a lot of sense and make a very, very big and stronger team. So definitely do that if you can't make the demonic power team. So, if you can, great. You can always use these guys as subs. Basically, every Gohan is on that. Like, super easy. Maybe this new Demon King Piccolo will be good. And then you got this team right here. And, I don't really need to say anything else about this team, right? Because how do you lose? Like, what do you do? How do you lose? Right? If you don't have the Goku, the God Goku, the Pure Saiyan leader, you can throw in one of these two guys. I don't really recommend throwing him in. I think my advice would be just take the Gogeta, use him as the secondary leader. You're going to lose a little bit on those, and then take one of these guys and throw them in, like maybe even this Vegeta. So you're getting the Pure Saiyans, but you might not be getting everything else. But, this team should be able to close your eyes, go to sleep, and beat whatever is in front of them. So that about sums up all my teams that I am going to be taking into, all of the Ultimate Clash battles for you know, the unforeseen future until new units come out and things EZA. But I wanted everybody to just get a glimpse into this guide because I thought it would be very helpful for them. Even my real life friends ask me like, who do I use? Like, I don't know how to make all these teams and yada, yada, yada. So, hopefully you like this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave me a comment, leave me a like, sub. I really appreciate it. Talk soon, guys. Take care.